Hello, everybody, and welcome to Ohio State, the voice of college football. I'm your host, Garrison Gay, with my man, Cleve Mike, right here. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you are not a Buckeye, and you have other family or you have family members that aren't Buckeyes, they might be North Carolina fans. They might be we'll forget the Wolverine fans. They might be Oklahoma fans, Virginia fans. We have it right here for the voice of college football. Make sure to check it out. If you haven't already, most of this content, everybody, will be for members, but we want to make sure that we give it to everybody else. If you click on that join button, you can see what we have during the season, guys. It will pick up. We'll be having a lot of content for you guys. It'll be specifically just for the members. You can check it out there. On there, you'll see the Blocko Club. JT wasn't short, and of course, we don't give a damn, and you know the rest. If you haven't already, everybody, be sure to check out our new website, where you can see all the writers we have and the journalists. If you want to find people like Mike and figure out when they are going to be alive, like tomorrow with Terry on the world famous Buckeye show here on the Voice of College Football at 7:30. You can see it there on the left side of the screen. But just be sure to check that out. Before we get going here, Mike, listen, I'm not a Steelers fan, but I hate my Cowboys. You know that. I hate my Cowboys. So I have kind of like taken on other teams, like the Steelers, the Houston Texans. I took the Steelers because I love Coach Tomlin. All right, never had a losing season, so now I know I can never be a loser with him. CJ Stroud's in Houston, and then wherever Justin at, I'm there. Then I live in in Grand Rapids, Michigan, so I kind of like the Detroit Lions. So yeah, you can kind of say I'm a Steelers fan. My dog Mel Blunt here, like when my boy Cam. He's a Miami fan from Ohio. Crazy. But whenever I talk about the Steelers with him, I say our Steelers. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I kind of am. But Mike,
he a fan.
All right. Shoot,
had to.
That's
It was there.
That's nasty work. But shoot, Mike, you want to let everybody know who we got coming up here, who our esteemed guest is?
Man, we got the one and only, the famous SFE Coach Dirt, man, coming on to the show. Coach Dirt coaches for SFE. He also played at the University of Central Florida as well. So we're going to bring Coach Dirt up right now, man. What's going on, Coach Dirt?
What's going on?
Good, man. How you been?
Man, I've been good, man. Just can't complain, Brian. Just getting to it. Man, today was really much a long day, man. And yeah, man, I'm here now. I've been really like ripping and running. Had a good Memorial weekend with the fam and stuff like that. But, I'm good here now.
Shoot, man. Well, let's get started here. So my first question for you is, tell us about your football journey and how you from UCF to being a coach over at SFE.
So pretty much how the whole UCF thing transpired. Well, pretty much to take it back, I had played football, high school ball at Miramar High. Wasn't qualifying out of high school. Really ain't really play that much like my senior year like that, nothing like that too much to begin with. So I had to go JUCO route. I had went ASA College. ASA was pretty much a JUCO down in Brooklyn, New York, where there was a junior college team. Then around 2015, 16, they opened up a new school down in Miami, where it was like an ASA Miami. So it branched off to South Florida, where I'm originally from. So I'm like, well, damn, I got opportunity to still go to school and play JUCO and be in Miami, back in my city. So I'm like, man, I'm gone. You feel me? I'm tired of sitting by ovens and with the oven open trying to warm up and stuff like that. So Man, I had went back up. Yeah, boy, New York was brutal, boy. Boy, New York was brutal, boy.
That's what.
That was brutal.
But being up north get you ready, man. Being up north get you ready, though.
Yeah,
how was that first winter?
When you went down to UFC though, you was ready. You was ready.
Oh, you UCF?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I was ready.
Yeah.
No, wait, how was that first winter you experienced?
How was my first winter in New York?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I told you, I'm sitting by ovens. Like, man, me and like 5 dudes, like 5 of us put together, like, man, we sitting by the oven, like with it open, like to the max, like boil, like sitting to the max, just sitting by the oven, like trying to warm up. Like, man, that was real deal. Like, it was tough. It was tough. I ain't gonna lie to you. It was tough. It was really tough. But I mean, but as far as everything else doing stuff like that and that aspect of it, I mean, it was cool. It was a great experience. I mean, I played with a lot of great people, met a lot of great people there. RP Greg Bryant used to play running back at Notre Dame. He came to us. I had David Clowney as a receiver coach. I had a lot of coaches. Tommy Caporali, he's now at Syracuse. He's a linebacker, one of the linebacker coaches. I also had who else? Coach, what's my boy name, man? Coach Larry, he over there at Florida right now. So pretty much a lot of people branded off, and also David Clowney. He's played receiver for the Jets. He was also one of our coaches as well. So like, we had a lot of people, a lot of ties with pro ball, and everybody, went off and branched off and, did their thing. And that led to me going to UCF. UCF pretty much walked on to UCF when I first got there. And pretty much, and then shit, after that, the rest was history.
So you got into coaching. It seems like the coaches that you speak highly of inspired you, or what made you get into coaching? What made you want to be around these young kids and pour into them?
Man, to be honest with you, man, I ain't gonna lie. I never thought about coaching like after like college and everything. Like even like winning like Peach Bowls and stuff like that. Like I ain't really seen me coaching. One of my DB coaches at UCF, he came back now that Scott Frost is back. Travis Fisher, he really was the first person that I really talked to, like really about coaching. Him and UCF new hired staff member Drico Johnson. Those 2 guys really got me really into coaching. And like, me and Drico, like, we was real cool. Like Drico was a person who, when I first got to UCF, he was the 5th year seniors, and he carried me under his wing and stuff like that. Pretty much showed me the ropes, how stuff went, and what it was like being like a D1 guy and stuff like that. But then even life after ball, we just kept the communication close. We talked about a lot of stuff. We talked about life and stuff like that. More so like big brother role. So we really like talked about it. And talking to Travis Travis Fisher, he also told me too about the whole like coaching thing. He pretty much liked the coaching for me because he liked the fact of how like I don't know, like I'm a fast talker. Like I know how to talk. I talk my way out of things, and I also could convince people into doing things at the same time. So if you could just talk your way into things, which is building connections and stuff like that, that far helps as far as like recruiting and stuff like that. And then your morale and how you talk to people to make people believe things and what you believe in and stuff like that. That's a part of coaching and stuff like that. And then also just looking at like what's going on as far as like in our community and stuff like that. I kind of do see things where kids they don't know a lot of things, like, you feel what I'm saying? And that's right. Okay too. Like I feel like where I'm from, certain kids, yeah, we have speed and stuff like that, but there's certain things that I feel like a kid should already know, but like coming into high school, they don't know it. You know what I'm saying? And then when they go to college, they still don't know it. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to just to be a vessel into my like community and stuff like that, and also just show them like, hey man, I know like what they think of you, what they think of y'all, what they saying in these rooms because I've been in them. You feel what I'm saying? So I wanted to be that person where it's like, okay, you can't be like, well, man, I ain't had nobody told me this. I ain't know what it was going to expect like this. No, that's a lot you did. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that's all that was. And that's why I hopped into it.
So and I'm happy you saw that, because this leads to my second question. Over at SFE, being in the community that you're from, being able to uplift the young men there, what's the mission for you there?
What, SFE?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
actually, you know what, man? Just in terms of just being in your community, being where you're from.
Well, shit, man. Pretty much the mission statement at SFE, of course, is, man, just winning championships, just winning, building connections, and building lifelong connections with other people. You know what I'm saying? I kind of look at SFE as it is what it is. SFE, we get the top premier talent every year, so it's an elite fraternity. I tell all these kids' families before they come to playing with SFE, that is a privilege. You know what I'm saying? Cause so many great kids, great people, or the coaches or players came through the program. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of coaches that used to coach for SFE. There's a lot of players that used to play for SFE, and they're all great people now to this day. So that's why I say SFE is like an elite fraternity, not just because of the players, but because of the people. You know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with ball. It just has everything to do with what type of person you is. You know what I'm saying? So it's an elite fraternity, and as far as that is. So I say the mission statement is to keep on going within that elite fraternity and finding out what type of person you is. Yeah, there are 4 or 5 star players, and yeah, there are 4 or 5 star great coaches. If you're not a great person, if you're not a good person and stuff like that, I don't think that you'll be a right fit for the program, player or coach. You know what I'm saying? We had coaches that coach for IMG. We had coaches that coached at a lot of top programs and stuff like that. Are they great people? That's not, there's some people are here, there's some people aren't. There's some players that plays for IMG. There's some players, we have 4 or 5 star players. You know what I'm saying? They want to play for SFE, but they can't. Because why? Because it's not a great person. SFE ain't for everybody, and that's okay too. And I think that's just pretty much what Brett is all about. Brett just want good people around him, man, and just being solid and just who you are and stuff like that, and having a great family, and that comes with the background of what type of family you have and how they brought you up to be and stuff like that. So that all that plays a role into that.
Facts. And you speaking on SFE is about building connections, man. And we have seen, SFE, you all take those, kids basically on a college tour. And, I've seen you build connections, not just at Ohio State, but you build connections with other coaches at other universities as well. Can you just speak on that, on how it is building connections with, these coaches at prominent universities, and also what you've been able to learn from those coaches as well?
So I say, man, building connection with all these people, man, it's really cool. I ain't gonna lie to you. I never in life I really think would be in this situation as far as man, I'm thinking I'm just gonna coach at SFE, coach these kids up, and then it's just gonna go by his day. But as time went on, it's and many people talking to you and and people knowing about SFE from the outside in, and then when they're recruiting the kid, and then the kid is well, and then the coach, and then the coaches is well, okay, you playing with SFE, that's dope. All the coaches know, so they man, how did you get on the SFE? You know what I'm saying? Because we got kids from all over the country. We got kids from California. Man, we had a kid from London last year. You all know about Onus. So when all these coaches, when they recruiting these kids, they wanted to know okay, well, most of these kids, how did you get on the SFE? Who do you know? And you're all the way from California. Oh, Coach Dirk. Coach Dirk. So it's so now it's when you go back to the college, it's well, who the hell is Coach Dirk? No, that's really, I swear to God, bro, that's really how this stuff been going on. And it's and then everybody be man, hey, who is this Dirk kid? Who is Coach Dirk? Who is that? People don't even know how to say the name. Some people saying Dirk, Dirk Nowinski. So some people saying Dirk, some people saying Dirt. They don't know who. Some people still don't know who I'm in, but they just know the name. And then when they put the name to the face, and they be like, "Oh, that's you," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's me." And then, I mean, so it's been on that, just building relationships. Man, I build relationships with anybody. You know, I love who love me at the end of the day. I don't really play no ties. Social media just be social media, man, because that's what I know it would be. Like, you know, I say a lot of stuff on there. I say a lot of stuff on there and stuff like that. But as far as it goes, like, at the end of the day, it's just, you know, it's just social media, it's just all kicks and giggles and stuff like that. I like making people tick. And people, I could drop an eye emoji and about 30 people would just be like,
Yeah.
what was that about? What was that about? What was that about? Like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, yo. Like, I was just, like, that eye emoji could have been something like, man, what I want to eat today? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even be knowing. Like, they be thinking something and taking a whole nother way and stuff like that. So, but now, like, I like building relationships with all these schools. I like building them. They are good people. Everybody who I got who I have relationship with, they all down to earth, and yeah, like, you know, I only talk to people who talk to me. And you don't talk to me, then I don't talk to you, and it's just go from there.
Now, it's funny you said, man, because I remember, so like 2 years ago, I had just like kind of entered into the Twitter space for Ohio State.
Sanchez.
Yeah.
Hey,
Shout out to Sanchez, man.
My peoples, them my folks.
Yeah, hey, they are so
straight
cool,
out of Pearland, them my people.
Hey, we call them the captains of the Buckeye family, man, for sure.
Oh yeah.
Two of the best recruiters at Ohio State right now. No, but I was like kind of like making a name like in the Ohio State space, and like thanks to like guys like Mike here and Chris Drew. Like, is that mine?
No.
But like I was like, man, like I saw your name pop up all the time. I'm like, man, who's Coach Dirt? And then I was like, I did my research. I said, oh man, so like he knows, like he knows whoever's coming to Ohio State. He knows the guys are going. And so then I want to ask this, man, how did the relationship between SFE and Ohio State start?
How did it start?
Specifically, I guess you could say Brian Hartline.
Nah, I think it go way back before Brian.
All right, let me hear.
Yeah, it go. Y'all know, like, they're Gators for real. You know, Ryan Day is a Gator. Like, he was a GA under Urban Meyer.
Mm-hmm.
Our owner, Brett, he's a Gator. He graduated from University of Florida. And, you know, him and Mark Pantoni, they, like, real close. So, you know, and also was a Gator and stuff like that. So, that pretty much, that started up the whole relationship from there. So, that's, like, years past relationships between Brett and Mark Pantoni. So that goes from that, and that's how everything pretty much kicked off. And then you have, like, Coach Key, KB, he's from South Florida as well, so like he pretty much knew all us already. So it was like, okay, two peas in the pod and everything like that. So that pretty much what started everything up. And that's how the relationship, like, with us in Ohio State, like, I guess that's when it started to, like, transpire and everything like that.
And it's funny that you say that, because a lot of people now probably are just learning the facts, because there are rumors out there that Brett's an Ohio State guy and he's this and he's that, and it's like it's good that we can clear that air and stuff. But also, you were speaking on social on social media earlier, and with a lot of these SFE guys, especially the top SFE guys that would come to Ohio State and stuff, Dirt, you yourself and SFE has dealt with it with some hate from some South Florida schools like Miami fans.
Shit, go ahead and say Miami.
I mean, I'm saying Miami fans. Yeah, Miami, we've been in the spaces with them, and I've listened to you and Jay Wimbro. You guys catch so much flack just for these kids making their own decisions. So you know, just speak on how you guys not really pushing these guys. You coaching these guys up. You're not pushing them to schools, but you seeing these guys make their decisions, and you honestly have no issues with it.
Yeah, I mean, like I tell all these folks, man, like they be like, man, y'all pushing these kids, y'all sending them to Ohio State. How? Like, you know, like how? Like let's do the timetables on everything, and you know, like, and this could really, like, clear the air with all this. There's not one kid that they could possibly say that play for SFE that we pushed or sent to Ohio State, because we don't push or do anything. We don't make. It's not like we got a gun in your head and be like, hey, yo, you're going to Ohio State and that's that, and you know, F all the Florida schools. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Nah, it's not like that, bro. People don't even understand. Most of these kids was already, half of these kids who played with us that playing for Ohio State now was already committed to Ohio State. Whether if it was silently or verbally, or you feel what I'm saying, they was already committed. Like Dev was already committed to Ohio State when he first played for SFE. You know what I'm saying? Bryce West was already committed. Chris Henry already committed. Who else? I mean, Brandon Ennis, he wasn't already committed. Brandon Ennis actually committed to Oklahoma before he committed to Ohio State. It's not our fault. Brian Hartline the relationship kept going.
Yep.
Brian Hartline actually congratulated the kid committing to Oklahoma. You feel what I'm saying? And then kept the relationship going. With Carnell Tate, I mean, that was, everybody thought that was going to be Notre Dame or Tennessee and stuff like that. You know how that goes. So like Miami was never in the picture on that end. So like, and Deshaun Stewart, he was already committed. So like we had all these kids that was already like committed within the process. Like, you know what I'm saying? Kaden Dixon Wide, a newly commit. I mean, yeah, you know, it was situations where, you know, Miami could have possibly been done, you know, something like that. But I mean, dice rolls other ways, and you know that's how that goes. You know what I'm saying? That is what it is. But as far as everything else, nah, we don't push kids anywhere. All these kids go to whatever school they want to go to. We got kids interested in Team Up North on our team right now. And y'all notice I ain't say their name. So you feel what I'm saying? So you feel me? We guys, and we're not bashing the kid. We ain't treating them no any kind of way. It is what it is. We got kids who like Miami. We got kids who like Florida State. We got kids who committed to Notre Dame right now. We got kids committed anywhere you want to go. We support you 1,000%.
No, it's crazy, man. Because when you know, when we put it out there, you know, we were interviewing you, and I saw you reposted it. I said, I'm seeing all the quotes on it. I'm like, who's quoting this? And it's a bunch of Miami fans. I'm like, dog, going y'all hurt.
Yeah, they
y'all
butthurt.
Sick.
They butthurt. I'll be butthurt too if what you call it now? Cause man, a kid like that, I'll be butthurt too if a kid like, you know, Jeremiah ain't come to my school. That's gonna hurt for, man. I don't think y'all understand. That's gonna hurt for a very long time, bro. Like I understand. I could be 50, 60 years old. I still think somebody's gonna be like, I could walk around somebody's barbershop and they'll be like, bro. And they'll be like, bro, like, man, we really didn't get Jeremiah Smith, man. That is crazy.
No, it's funny because I try to tell people too, like even guys like Brandon Ennis, man. I think people forget, like coming out of South Florida, Brandon Ennis is seen like is one of the best players ever come out of there, man. So I get it. I was like, dog, why y'all coming to dirt like that? Like, what did he do to y'all? But
nah, I don't do nothing to nobody, man. I'm harmless.
But
go ahead, Mike.
But you were speaking on, you know, you giving these kids the information that they need because you've been in that spot, right? And so we know, speaking of Ohio State, Brian Hartline, you know, NFL wide receiver, holds record or held records. We're gonna say holds records at the Miami Dolphins in the NFL, and what he was able to do. You sat in those meetings or been around Hartline when he's describing what Ohio State and himself can offer these young men as wide receivers. You know, can you break down just, you know, a little bit of the difference from Hartline and some of these other guys where it's like, I've did it, I've been here. Can you just break that down a little bit from what you've seen?
I think the one thing I do like with his recruiting pitch, and I don't want to give all his like sauces and stuff like that.
That's why I said just a little bit.
But I just like the fact, the one thing I can say about him is I like the fact that he could promote his stuff and who he is and what he do without downplaying the next person. You know, that's a main thing. Cause you know, normally some people who like, if some people playing at a big school, and you know, and another kid like be interested in like another school who may not be as big as them, or you know what I'm saying, or another wide receiver coach who probably just got his first time, his first like a kid, like a guy who left one school and go to like another big school, and now he's at the big school. This is his first time. This is his first gig like at a big school. You know, most coaches will really like downplay them. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you know, recruiting is a very dirty game. A
Right.
lot of dirty macking going on. So I say for him, it's more so like, you know, he keep everything professional and stuff like that. He let it's fair game with him. And I kind of honestly like, I like the fact that comes from just like humble stuff. Like, I mean, it is what it is. Like, you know, like I said myself, like Ohio State receiver room, like all that sell itself. Like I don't have to convince a kid about playing receiver here when facts are the facts and the numbers are the numbers, and that'll never change. You know, words and everything may change, but those won't. So the fact that, you know, he keeps it all fair and stuff like that, like that's good. And, you know, we could just leave that at that right there.
So for some of the Buckeye fans that want to know some more information, some inside information of things you know about some of these young players that have come through SFE, like Jeremiah, like Brandon, like Tate, like Devin Sanchez. Like, what can you tell us about these young men?
Well, I would say with Devin is, man, that's when you gonna get one hardworking kid, man. I ain't gonna like, real cool, great family, and that really just goes to show is just a testament of what type of people he have in his upbringing. With Mama D and Mr. Dan, and pretty much just him who he is and what, you know, what makes him him. I expect him to be a 3-and-out type of kid just because of his work ethic, you know, and everything. Like I was just seeing videos of him with like one of the Houston trainers down there who he be working out with one way. So, you know, like kid could have been anywhere else in the world, like, you know what I'm saying? Like could have been traveling, could have been vacating and stuff like that. But, you know, it's just the need of wanting to be better and stuff like that. So I say, you know, that's a great kid. And then, you know, like, I mean, I don't even think Jeremiah even need introduction. Everybody know what type of person he is. He's first one in, last one out type of kid. So like that was already on full display what type of person he was gonna get year one. So just year two is just like, man, what can you do that you already didn't do? And that's the thing that I think people waiting for him to see. And I think that kid is just amazing. Mm-hmm.
Facts, man. Now I will say one player that I feel is getting lost in the sauce, man. A lot of people are so enamored with the new recruits, the new guys coming in. Everybody's talking about Mylan Graham and everything, but a lot of people forget that there was only one 5-star recruit in the entire Big Ten when he signed on the dotted line, and that was Brandon Showtime Ennis. And for the people who are watching online, I have a poll in the chat. Who is your favorite SFE Buckeye? You guys go ahead and vote that. But Brandon Ennis, we've heard the stories about this young man and how some people wanted to check his birth certificate because they just didn't believe, you know, that they didn't believe like he was like really the age that he was saying he was. And just talk about Brandon and the competitor and what Buckeye fans should be expecting or that they're going to get this coming season.
Man, I say like out of all the kids, bro, out of all the kids since I've been with SFE, and I've been with this is going on like my 5th season coming up. Like so because this season pretty much finished. In my 5 years with SFE, I don't think I've seen somebody like with his competitive, like I'm talking about, bro, like between him and bro, I'm talking about even Chase, like, bro, that man dogness, like, bro, that man competitiveness, bro, like, bro, that man ain't even want to lose in Uno. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, that man is real. That boy is real deal. Like, is a competitor. Like, he hate to lose. He always want to win every rep. Don't care what it is. Don't care if it's like throw him up, bust him up, whatever you want to call it. Like, bro, like that kid always want to win, bro. And I think that with Brandon is like that took him far and stuff like that. And also, you know, the kid's super humble, man, very respectful. He's another one of those, like, you know, he shows great leadership skills. I think that's why they probably give him number 1, 2 on top of that, because like, you know, just him leading the pack and he's very vocal. You know, if you don't like something, you know, a lot of kids, you know, they be quiet, especially this generation. Like, you know, like they don't really like, you know, their way of not feeling something is them not speaking or them ghosting you or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what's going on. But him with Brandon, like, man, nah, man, I ain't gonna lie to you, coach. I ain't feeling this and you know, and not to make him like, you know, like sound bad or anything like that. It's just like he's real open to expressing himself and like how he feels on any situation, and to mature that and have that at a very young age, that shows the type of person and who you really are and stuff like that, bro. So I expect big things from him, great things from him. You know, he looked like he been working. He looks like he had a good spring. Super healthy. That was a good thing. No hicks, no nicks in the whole spring. So it should be on and popping with him this spring, this upcoming season.
And just to piggyback off of that, when you saw him break that DB off in that national championship game, what was your reaction, bro?
I said, "Oh my god!" I said, "Boy, that look like that heritage, Brandon." I was like, "But that look like that heritage, Brandon."
Yo, bro,
Yeah.
bro, when that play happened, man, I said, because you can't really see it from like the normal view, right? I said, how's he that open? And I saw the route. I said, dog, gone, boy. That's gonna be all. That's gonna be all season. That's gonna be all season.
Yeah, that's gonna be all season.
So, man, my last question for you, man, is what is your message, like your personal message for like just young men out there, you know, trying to get noticed out there, trying to get the right development, trying to figure out where the right place to be is in terms of which program. What would you tell them?
What you mean like right program? Like what, schools or like colleges?
Right school, like what's right for them?
Oh, man, just being solid, man. You know, like I'm saying, it just all depends on like, you know, the grade, what grade you in, what school you at, of course, and you know where you at in your whole recruiting process and stuff like that. Like, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. Man, I just say, but most importantly, man, none of this don't happen for nobody if you're not a great person. You feel what I'm saying? I say, man, you just have to be, you just got to remain solid. You know, that will get you far, man. And also, man, listen. You know what I'm saying? Listen and get you far. Listen and get you, you just listening, man, that'll open so many doors for people, man. You don't even understand how far people got in life by just listening to somebody. You know what I'm saying? So that's just pretty much just my message to anybody, adult, kid, or whatever. You ain't too early to learn something from somebody. You feel what I'm saying? And also, man, you know, just keep God first and anything like that, bro. Like, and just pray hard. You know, when it's time to get hard, just pray even harder. When you think something ain't going your way, find a way. You feel what I'm saying? Be solution minded as well too. As much as you like problems, because most of you kids do like problems. Find the answer to those problems. You feel what I'm saying? So and it's just a lot. Oh, and also as common courtesy is for the ones who are going into higher places and stuff like that. Man, it's common courtesy for the ones who do come before and after you. Just leave that place better than the way you found it. Right. And that's just pretty much some old saying. Like my grandma used to be telling me, like, you go to like right now I'm coaching at SFE in Sherman. I want to leave that place better than the way I found it. You feel what I'm saying? Whether if it's going to the bathroom, leave it better than the way you found it. You know, and that's pretty much just like I seen like Jakeem Stewart. That kid, I see he just gave his high school graduation. He gave his football team program 10 grand. That's leaving the place better than the way you found it. So that's just pretty much my message and stuff like that.
Man, Coach Dirt, man, we appreciate having you on. If people wanted to contact you or, you know, reach out to you or reach out to SFE, you know, how can they get a hold of you on social media or SFE on social media?
Well, first they gotta contact Jay Wimbrow because you know that's like my assistant. You feel what I'm saying? Jay worked for me on the low. Y'all really don't know that, but Jay worked for me.
You gonna get me in trouble, Dirt.
Y'all holla at Wimberg, my boy Wimblow, right? Holla at, I don't know what I just did. Hold on, we got thumbs up. Oh, that's dope. Oh, so yeah, holla at I don't know how I did that, but I guess we rocking with
You
it.
can do this.
Hey.
Holla at my boy Jay Wimblow, and you feel what I'm saying? So he gonna send your name information, then Jay gonna call me, and he gonna be like, "Yeah, man, there we got this kid and stuff like that, and then we gonna talk about it, and then yeah, go right
And well, there you have it, man. We appreciate Coach Dirt, man, with this insight, and we definitely plan on getting Coach Dirt on here. Hopefully before his season starts at Chaminade, man. And we wish you nothing but the best and good luck on your season, brother.
Nah, for sure, man. Appreciate y'all boys having me.
Thank you, man.
All right.
Appreciate it. No, that was good, man. That was good. I'm happy we were able to make this work because that was some insight, Mike. I think you're not gonna get from the normal person, man. He's like I'm happy we got this going. I'm happy we got this going.
Yeah, and I'll just let you all know because I when we was doing these interviews and stuff on Best Damn Media, right? Like and talking to him, and what really had me a Carnell Tate fan was the simple fact of he was like, man, if we say y'all got to be in the lobby or whatever at 8:30, Carnell down there at 7:30. You know, like. I mean, I've just been, and like he said, think about this. All of the guys that we have gotten from SFE have all been good kids. Like I think that was the main point.
Man.
Be humble, be a good person, and leave the place better than what you left it. And I believe that all of those young men do that. And you just see Brandon Ennis, like how he spoke on Brandon Ennis being humble. And everybody like, oh, Brandon Ennis could transfer and da-da-da. No, he waited his time. And also, he's been on the leadership committee since he walked through the door at Ohio State as well. So, I mean, that was
sure.
It's just I hope everybody who had Brandon Ennis kind of on the back of their mind put Brandon Ennis on the forefront of the mind because I think we are going to see some very special things. And you got to think about it. These three played on SFE together. The chemistry is already there. Like it used to be movies. I remember we would run Discords or whatever and actually watch the SFE games and stuff and just the highlights, the different things that those guys would do. How could you not get excited for this trio again?
No, there's no way. There's no way you can't. Again, it's a lot of riches. You know, we're spoiled as Buckeye fans. You know, and shout out to SFE for like Dirt said. You know, they don't push kids to go anywhere. They don't force kids to go anywhere. You know, they choose Ohio State. You know, and clearly, you know, the young men that played down there in South Florida, they see the benefits of coming up here. And Mike, you talk about just being the right fit and being good human beings, and able to wait. I mean, even if you remember, Mike. Jeremiah, before the season started, he talked about it, but he said, if I don't start the first year, all right. Like these are young men they're willing to work. And that's something you don't get in a lot of this younger generation. That's something you don't get, but these guys know how to work. And a lot of that you gotta attribute to the parents, the people they grew up with, and then also the South Florida Express and those coaches. Because man, I remember I know for you, Mike, also, I mean, my coaches were also like father figures for me outside of my own dad. So it's like when you get these young men, they come in, they're ready to work, they're good people. You don't hear about them getting any BS. You know, they don't fool around. And no, it's awesome. And the Buckeyes are really blessed that you have this partner. Not I want to say partnership, but this relationship with the guys down at SFE.
And like you said, I mean, these young men, like I said, they take these young men on campus tours and they're traveling to different states and competing. You haven't heard about no SFE kids getting into any trouble at all. And like you said, Brent wants to surround himself around good people. And I'll say this is a message for all you young men who watch this is if you want to be successful, surround yourself around successful people.
Yes.
You know, you are what you hang out with, man. And you know, not sitting here saying, you know, that there's not people out here that need saving or need that positive encouragement. But just understand, if they're mentally not on what you on, you can end up fall in the trap and fall in the wayside, man. I trust me, take it from experience from me. I ain't got I'm 35, but I ain't got these gray hairs for no reason, man. It's a lot of wisdom in here. It's a lot of wisdom in here, man.
Shoot, man. But before we get out of here, everybody, I do want to put this out here for our guy Marmar. Just recently lost his son to some violence, and about a week before his graduation, guys. So right here is the GoFundMe. And Marmar said, guys, he even said you don't have to donate. Just go and look at the page, learn about, find out about his son, see him, put it out there if you could. But yeah, just real sad, everyone. But yeah, if you could just go ahead and support him, send your prayers and your prayers out to Marmar, everyone. That'd be great. Also, again, tomorrow, Mike and Terry, you can catch them at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time on the world famous Buckeye show. Again, Mike, I love watching, because again, you guys, the way you guys talk about football is different than other people. The way you guys tie the game of football into Ohio State and what's going around the landscape. Thursday at 8:00, myself and Ryan Stano, we will be live for the call-in show. So come in, call, bring your questions, anything you may have. Guys, I get tired of hearing my voice eventually. So please call in. Please.
Yeah.
But outside of that, everybody, Mike, I got nothing else. You got anything for the people?
No, man. Everybody stay blessed. And again, man, shout out to, anyone who had family members who served, and I hope everybody enjoyed their Memorial Day and just remember what it was really about as well. And I try to explain to my kids what it's really about, that people gave the ultimate sacrifice, and, my grandfather was in the military. I had several family members who were in the military as well. So remember, they gave the ultimate sacrifice, man, and we should always respect them and what they did, because without them, I mean, we could be speaking a whole different language right now. So shout out to those people, man.
No, and Mike, also, I want to point this out, because I thought it was really cool. You posted about, a lot of our people, that they weren't welcome home. That my great grandfather was in the Navy in 1943, which is the first year black people could join black men could join the Navy. So also shout out to all those people that served in a time when it wasn't welcome. So
big facts.
But as always, Mike, OH.
IO.